Hey everybody, I'm Jordan at PDQ.com. Special thanks to Kelly for pointing out everything about me is shallow, including my knowledge. Today we're going to talk about some of the new things that are coming up with the PowerShell scanner. Hopefully you've been using it. I love it. I think it's fantastic. But there are a couple of things that are coming out in a future build that I think you're really going to like. Alright, so the first thing, and this one's just more of a, I guess an ease thing or something where if you run into it once or twice, it's going to cause some minor issues. I'll just open this up and call it best scanner because I have confidence in me. Alright, so we're going to go open up a PowerShell scanner. Alright, so let's say I'm in here, I have the idea, I'm running the best scanner ever. And this is ripped from real life. Here I'm working, I'm being productive, I'm coming to the best scanner ever. All of a sudden Kelly's going to walk in. He's like, hey, why don't you do that thing I told you to do, or whatever. I lose my train of thought. I'm not really listening to Kelly anyway, but I come back in, I was typing in here, and I click File. I've lost the best scanner. I can't remember that. I can't remember that at all. Before, when you switch between file and script, it would be gone, but now they changed it so that's still there. So if you misclick due to management interjecting, your work's still good to go. That's just kind of a quick one.
I like that misclick.
Misclick.
We're all about coinage here, everybody. You heard it here first. Not that you just clicked another field because you needed to.
No.
There's an actual, I want to rename that. It's that is, according to Jordan, a misclick.
I was distracted by just overbearing management. Hey, Kelly. All right, so the next part we're going in, and this is one that I really love, is, I don't know, you're probably pulling data and you saw that the data wasn't converting to megabytes or kilobytes or anything like that. And so what we did is we went through and we added it, and I'm pulling up just a script right now. It's going to go to get volume where it's grabbing the letter, the size, and the size remaining. And basically, if the title contains, if the name contains space, I'm sorry, I'm looking, I forgot size or length in the title, and the data type is any form of integer or long, it will automatically convert those into the proper data type. So we're going to save the best scanner. Not even Kelly can stop me. I'm on a roll. I'm going to come in here and we'll open up, we'll scan bird person. No, that's not. We'll scan a Windows 10 machine. I don't know if get volume, I know it doesn't work on 7, I don't know about 8.1, so we're just going to avoid that altogether. Best scanner. I can remember what I named stuff. It's good to be professional, Shane. Yeah. It is good. All right,
I'm glad you're trying it once.
Oh, I did not center that window. Sorry about that. All right, so what's scanning? So this was just basically going to grab all the volume. There it is. It's up there. So you can see here we've got the size and the size remaining, and it broke it down into megabytes instead of what it normally looks like, which I'll show that next. This is what we installed in the middle of the show about the fix that was in there. We're going to go in here and edit that scanner. And after size remaining, we're going to create a calculated property. We're going to name it Other Soze because it's not Kaiser.
Other Soze.
Spoiler alert.
I don't think at this point that one you can go spoiler. That one's been out long enough.
All right, usual suspects.
Okay.
Yeah, say if you don't know 90s movies, then this is not the webcast for you.
All right. So in this one, all I'm doing is I labeled it, Other Soze is obviously a typo. And all I'm doing is I'm adding the two data types we had before, and we're going to rescan that one. Just go to Scan and Best Scanner. It's the best scanner because it adds so much value just right there. So in this one, where it doesn't contain size because of the typo, you're going to see what it looks like in just the bytes as you see it popped up there. Right there, that is not real attractive.
It's not really useful unless you think that way.
Yep. So, and then what we did fix, which was talking about the install, so we can see it. I'm going to actually change it back to other size. And you can see that even in your calculated properties, as long as it has those words and the data type, then it should still convert it to those data types. This is just something that makes it just easier to see everything. I'm glad they added it because doing the conversion within PowerShell is easy, but I mean, no one wants to. And there you go. We have an entire gigabyte on Allen rails. All right, so now just I guess for some reason I'm going to create a collection based on the volume information that I grabbed. So it's a PowerShell scanner. someone didn't clean up when he was done. Let's say drive value is C. Awesomeness. With apparently extra capitals. Alright, hopefully that one will fill out with Allen rails unless I did it wrong. Alright, so we did that one. But now if we go into that same scanner that we had, tools, man. I know where everything is, but on camera, you have to rethink about it. We're going to come in and we're going to edit that one. So now if I come in here and I am changing something like I'm removing size from it, you see you have the warning right here that the scanner is in use. And if you hover over that, it's going to let you know this one is in the collection. Awesomeness. So now if you're modifying your PowerShell scanners, you can see if there are collections that are going to be impacted. That one, I mean, if you have live scanners that you wanted to change and you're not sure, this is going to be very handy for you.
Yeah, I mean, remember it can, especially like something like reports that you might have auto reports set up, set it and forget it, and you've got a report that uses that old where you just remove the size column, and it was expecting that, and it's going to be generated and sent out to your manager every week, and you forget about that. So just basically, just remember that when this thing has been out in the wild, there's going to be some cleanup that you have to take care of.
Yeah, it's just this one just makes it easier to keep it clean, because if you're like me, I've named everything I've ever done A or AA, or so what I have written is not real clear. So having something that tells me what I'm impacting is pretty valuable. The next part that we added, which I thought was super cool, is we added the ability to use variables now in the PowerShell scanner. So we're gonna do this one with get process, and I named this one does Chrome, and then it sure does, because I'm cutting edge with my cleverness. I don't know why I always get into this in the webcast where I start typing it live, but we'll see how this goes. Product. I'm not using...
You can't have your entire life on the clipboard buffer there, dude. You're going to actually have to type.
Oh, man. All right, so I did product instead of name because the Google Chrome process just says Chrome, which our variable says Google Chrome. So I'm going to come into our system variables and find app name Google Chrome. I know how the alphabet works. All right, so we've got the variable in there. We're going to test this, and I'm just going to assume it works. And this just lets you know if the system has Chrome running. Basically, it's not an incredibly valuable script, but it's more of just showcasing that the variables do work. And since I know Chrome is running on this one, I'll run it here. That's the kind of foresight you can expect when Jordan is driving.
Did you say foresight?
Foresight, yeah, not forethought.
It's a combination of forethought and foresight.
Yeah, it's both.
He's adorable.
All right, and so you can see just using the variable for Google Chrome, it came out there. So if you have your own custom variables or you want to use our system variables, you don't have to hard code that now. You can use those variables in there. I don't know, I keep on saying they're all my favorite, but that one's my favorite. I don't know.
If everything's your favorite, nothing's your favorite.
Yeah, you can't tell me that. Let's do a question.
All right. Hey, Jordan, since the PDQ Package Library is only supporting cumulative updates for Windows, how can I use PDQ Deploy with or without PowerShell to force an update to a new version of Windows 10, like the 2004 or 1909? Sincerely, Philly Phil R.
So the issue we have with that one is that one takes long enough to update that we don't always get the results back when it's finished. So our product can do the install, but it doesn't always leave off where you expect. It has been done. We just don't have anything out there on ours because we don't really want to put our name on it when we can't guarantee the results. But in our forums, there are a couple examples of people there that have done the creators updates that you should be able to do.
Wish Colby were here,
Yeah.
because he'd have some choice words about 2004. Maybe it's good that he's not, because he might break the Flanders rule.
He might break Flanders.
Oh, is he not a fan? That's
Of 2004?
yeah.
No.
Oh, I did not. I saw that he had some comments, but I guess I didn't read into it. Interesting.
He's not happy about it.
I thought you understood how the alphabet works. That's what Sean posted here. His favorite quote of the day.
I'm getting there. I'm learning stuff every day. Every day.
He is adorable.
Yeah, so on that one, unfortunately, we don't have anything like as us being standing behind it, but there are people that have done it in the forums, and they'll give you a good setup on how you can probably get that set
Yeah,
up.
the fact of the matter is when it comes to those updates, it's kind of, we can fire it off, and a lot of people, they do have a lot of customers that try it. They'll fire it off, but after it reboots, it's gone for so long that when it comes back, we don't know that anything was waiting for it to happen.
Yeah.
The runner is long gone. We can usually handle reboots, but these seem to be a problem. So people will fire it off, and effectively that will just time out after whatever. If the default is an hour, if you've changed it, so be it. But it usually just time out, and then the next inventory scan, they'll start seeing the new OS version pop up. And those that don't pop up, those are the ones that they can go out there and kind of, coddle a little bit, maybe do a. The world just narrowed down, but we don't really like Jordan said, we don't want to put our name on it because this really is just kind of fire and spray and pray. You can push it out, but it won't come back and say I'm done.
Yeah, whether or not was a pretty heated debate for a while, but but the information is there. This is where Colby would put in the link to the forums. Shane.
Oh. Yeah, I'm not going to try that.
Okay. So we'll find the link to one of those examples, and we'll put it into after the fact in the webcast, so you guys can click on that if you'd like to see an example of it. All right. Yeah. So this is the last ad that we had for the scanner, which some people have heard this before, but this is my favorite. In the computer window is now you can sort the data like you could within the reports or anything else, so you don't have just the static list. It's just a bit more customizable for you. It has all the same filters and everything. There are no blanks of PM on this one, in case you guys were wondering. So, yeah, it's just, we love the scanner. It was great, but this is adding a lot of functionality and just ease of use to make it, I guess, that much better. These are not live yet. I believe they're coming to a nightly build soon. And then hopefully, if it's working out well, be the release. We're just kind of showcasing now. Just know that if you have the latest build, you're not going to see this quite yet, but it is coming. I guess we need to go over how do we get that stuff imported.
That could be helpful.
Yeah. Now that we have it, so we had in the pre-show someone talk about they want to put in a pull request for some of their scanners they made, which please do. We love all data we can get. And then I guess we're going to go over a couple ways we can add this one. The first one, this is the GitHub desktop, which I think just the installer is just desktop.github.com. And then if you're logged in already, it's got OAuth, so it's quick log and everything. All right, so here we're going to clone a repository, and we're going to go to the URL one. And because I didn't write this down anywhere, it looks like I'm typing. If I can find it, I didn't even give myself an example on it. Well, whoops, Jordan. All right, so let me just find the URL here from Colby. Thanks, Colby. He's not even here, and he's still more useful than me. All right, and we're going to put that one on the C-, I believe, PowerShell-Scanners. And I'm going to double check again because I definitely don't want to get this wrong. Yep, PowerShell-Scanners, okay. So that's all we're doing. We're going into the URL where our scanners are, and then put in the local path PowerShell-Scanners. That's just when we have the default. I believe you can change that, but you just want to make sure if you're polling based on the command examples that Colby has in the README on our GitHub, you're going to want to make sure that you change the local path to whichever one you create. All right, we're going to hit clone, and we'll see if it works. So we did, what was that, C drive, right? I should know this person. Hey, look at that. All right, so now this is all of the scanners that we have on our GitHub. Am I centered, JJ? Okay. All right, and that's just a quick way to pull them down. The other way is if you don't want the GUI, you just want to do the command line. We have the Git for Windows. You can install. It's the package already in deploy. And then if you just come in here.
I like how you ask if I'm centered and then you move the window.
It was in my way.
I confirm, and then...
Well, the important part is it was centered, right?
It was. Keyword was.
Oh, Man, I have brought my A game. All right, so this one we have the command prompt open up here, and you just basically want to copy the lines that's in our. So if you go to github.com PDQ PowerShell-Scanners, it's just right in our README. Colby has all the lines, the git clone, and then git pull if something updates. So if new scanners are in there or scanners are updated, you can do git pull. And this way, once you import these scanners into the machine, they'll update with the git pull. You don't have to worry about going in and doing any of the editing, which we can showcase here. While I'm doing that, do we have any more questions?
Dear Jordan, any advantage or disadvantage to using the built-in file copy step versus copy item via PowerShell? Thanks, Alex N.
I mean, they're both going to work. I guess it just depends on what you're doing at the time. If it's already in a scanner or something you built in PowerShell, just throwing it in there. It's going to have similar results. Or if it's got to be its own step word, I guess it's just they both are going to work great for you. Just I guess case by case, wherever you think it will fit in best. All right. I'll tell you what I didn't do. Didn't pull up the thing I said I would during the question. So you're going to open up the scanners. I'm in deploy, not inventory.
So we understand it now. Questions are really a device for you to prepare, but then when actually asked, you don't prepare.
I can't multitask. All right, so we're just going to seamless transition. Here I was answering the question while simultaneously pulling up the scan profiles. Nice job, me. We can edit this in post, right? No.
Jordan's revealing an abundance of secrets.
Jordan, how long have you been here? We don't edit in post.
There is no post. What are you talking
Oh,
about?
that's what the live means. No, I get it.
You don't see a bunch of edits here, dude.
You just have to say one word. I hit that red button.
Yeah, there's the abort, and that abort is usually followed by a come over to Sean's office.
Ooh, I got a nice.
It's never been pushed, has it?
Not intentional.
Not intentional.
JJ, come over to Sean's office.
All right, so all I did is I came up here, I clicked on import from the scan profiles, and then went to our folder, the PowerShell scanners, and then we're going to go into the Chrome extensions, which is user submitted one. Figure we can kind of go into that one. You can see it opens it and names it PS- just to keep the naming the same, and then Google Chrome extensions. Before running it, what I am going to do is open up that script, because there's people around here that get real mad if you just start running scripts without knowing what's in them. real sticklers for that security. Right.
Well, hopefully you as our customers are kind of sticklers too.
Yeah, no,
I mean, there's different levels, but just clicking on. We learned very quickly when VBS came out not to just click on things that came to you in the mail that you just downloaded. Hey, let's see what this does.
I ran this from the internet.
This one has added bonuses. It wasn't written by me, so it's most likely going to work.
Well, if it was written by you, then A, it's not hostile, and B, it's not going to do any damage because it's going to error.
If it's written by me, then it looks ugly, and Colby has edited it.
It's got a lot of what ifs.
What ifs? He's big on those parameters. A lot of what ifs. He can't even follow along with what I've written, so he's like, I'll just throw a couple of these. All right, so this one, it looks like it's just looking for a JSON file for Chrome, and then it's going to parse that for information. So this is the first part here. Is I guess we're converting data, and then for each it goes through and looks for the JSON file. And then once it has the JSON file, it's going to go through and you can parse it for the data that it's looking for. Looks like he, in his quote, linked to Andrew Plough, who is fantastic at PowerShell. He's someone I met at the PowerShell conference. I'm actually going to open up an external website so we can see it. So it's just, if you're looking for good PowerShell knowledge, this guy knows his stuff. He also has a meetup. So if you're interested in PowerShell, there's a Zoom call for it. It is Gainesville PowerShell User Group. I think they're thinking about taking July off due to busyness, but if it's back, I'd register that one. You can get in that one remote, and you can learn a lot.
Cool.
I probably should mention that PDQ also has a PowerShell Meetup, July 9th.
Not near Gainesville.
Not in Gainesville. That one is PowerShell Salt Lake City.
But it is.
You had to think about the city in which we are in.
Yeah, it could
that
be
one's
anywhere.
in.
I could be anywhere. Well, luckily for you guys, I used to be in charge of hosting and planning those out, but that's Celine now, so it's professional. So
That one is remote, though, right?
that one is remote. So there will be a Zoom link in the meetup.
So yes, it can be done. That would be cool.
Yep.
We'll post that in the description on
Yep.
this,
Yes.
this video.
And I think July 9th is the next one. So
Cool.
we'd love to see you there if you're interested in PowerShell. It's a great place to learn it. All right. So from there, it's not really editing anything. It's just going to parse the JSON script. I don't want to go down each item just because I don't think you guys want that. So I see nothing malicious. You know what? I'm going to come clean again. I read this one earlier. I know it's safe. All right. All right, so now that we have that one go into inventory, not deploy, see, I'm already getting better.
You know it's safe to run on our completely sequestered test network.
Yeah, I just, the important thing is improvement has happened, noticeable improvement. I want that to go down on the resource of record.
You know, and it's true. But then again, when you show your password on the webcast, improvement is the only trajectory that you can take.
Listen, that was
Your first week.
my first week, yeah. Whew, nervous times. I changed that password very quickly.
He knows
Oh.
you can only go up from there.
I was supposed to get back with you and make sure I'd removed everything, so we're going to make t-shirts with that password.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so everyone can know what my old password used to be. I just want to make sure it is my old password on everything.
Before you end up getting weird bank statements.
Security by Jordan.
It's like, yeah, that's the password to get into my credit score.
I sent my bank password to Colby once
Did you?
on Slack.
Oh, I hope you
yeah,
utilized it.
I was just on my bank account online, something had happened, and I answered a question from him or something, and I was still on Slack, and then I was like, okay, I got to get back to entering this, and so I just, out of context, just send him this, and I just get these question marks back. I'm like, hold on while I change something.
Oh, thanks.
And that's Colby. You know, he could have taken advantage of that real quick. He doesn't, he doesn't even know the username. So you see that one, it just scans. It's going to let you know all of the extensions you have on Chrome, including which ones are there by default or which ones are non-standard. Looks like we got AdBlock Plus. It's good. No one's getting through. We are secure here on Guinness. So I guess we kind of went over that one. I don't know if we want to go over a couple of other example scripts that we have in there, or if we have any other questions. Let's do a question while I'm really going to pull it up this time.
We'll do a question so Jordan can pretend he's preparing for something. Dear Jordan, what version is your PowerShell scanner based on, or does it work for all newer versions of PowerShell, like 7.1, if installed on the machine? Sincerely, Rockin' Robin S.
That's a fantastic question, Robin. Right now, that one is going to work with the built-in ones for Windows, the PowerShell 5. So even if you have 7, our scanner's not going to use that one quite yet. I don't know if there's plans to add 7 compatibility. I know there's just some concern where PowerShell is going to be there by default on Windows. With 7, there's just some other setup. I'm not sure exactly all the conversation. I'm sure Colby would know. How about you, Shane?
I know. I'd heard 5. In fact, a lot of it I'd heard, even though those OSs really aren't supported anymore, is that a lot of it was based off of 3. But we'll go with 5.
Yeah. But man, 7 is fantastic. That one adds the best of both worlds, where you can go off Windows. The real advantage of 7 over 5.1 is you can use on like Linux and other things, just because it has the PowerShell core. It's built on .NET Core, where this works on Windows. There's no real reason to cross over on that one quite yet, we don't think. All right, well, let me choose just a random folder. A couple. All right, let's look at battery status. And I'm sorry, I had the names of the people that submitted these, and I just did not bring them over with me. I believe this.
You're going to do battery status.
Battery status
I don't think we have any.
Brett
I don't think we have any
no
laptops.
laptops. So we're not going to do battery status. But what I am going to do is close the entire window, so I have to go back into it. All right. I guess let's go over. Let's see, important events. I think map drives. I'm trying to think of one we haven't gone over before, so we're keeping it new. File hash, which I believe was written Brian here at PDQ. And this one will just do a file hash comparable on 2 folders. Having not read this one, reading over this one should be real fun for me.
Going to trust you on this,
PS
Brian.
file hash.
Well, not just trust them, I have to look at what it does so I can run it in a proper context. I gotta be honest, this was a bad call. I've probably made a horrible mistake, but it's only my 3rd of this webcast, so I'm sure things are just fine.
Don't you miss doing run-throughs?
Oh, those were nice. Those were nice. All right, well, and what's worse is Lex and me had gone over a couple we want to talk about, and then he got sick, and I forgot what we talked about, so now we're winging it. Because, professional as always. All right, so let's take a look at here. We got our parameters for recurse. So I think, is it just going to look at any file, or do you have to specify the file? Let's take a look. So for each file in files. So it's getting a good child item where you specify the path. So it looks like you're going to have to look within a folder, and it's going to compare files within that one to make sure the hash is the same. If I'm reading that right. So yeah, algorithm SHA-256. If
Well, yeah, it is expecting a path. So.
Yeah, so specify the path. I got to tell you, I don't know if it has to be the same file name, because, if the file name is different, wouldn't the hash be different as well? Or I think I have chosen poorly on one to run live. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to run this one without tested it. If Brian's in chat, wouldn't that be wonderful?
At this point, just go to the battery one.
Just go to the battery. The battery when we don't have laptops. All
We
right.
did. Apparently, we've gotten some feedback that the people were using this for battery health, and they're very grateful for it. So
Okay. All right, well, I guess we'll just look over that script. We can't really run it and get results, but I'll still run it.
Oh, we know what the results are going to be.
Yeah. Your battery's great. It's like it's plugged into the wall. All right, so that one, let's see here. This one was written by Brett, also from PDQ. Brett, yeah. So let's see. He's building the function format battery. That makes it very easy. All right, so battery name, no battery detected. That's probably what we're going to find a lot of, where it goes over the design capacity. It's just basically he's building this custom object here and filling it out with what looks like WMI queries. All right, I can follow this one. So yeah, it's going to do WMI queries about the battery, the state, and get you back the results on that one, and then fill that one out. So I'm going to import that one and run it. Man. This has not been my finest work. I don't know.
we're going to throw some swag out for people or contests for people who contribute their scripts.
That's not a bad idea. The more the merrier. I love reading through the scripts and see what we get in there.
To both internal and external. Internal employees and...
Internal employees can go over to the cabinet.
Yes.
Submissions not needed. They say, "Hey, Lisa."
Yeah,
Well, they still have to drive here nowadays.
Well, I do believe
That's
we've
a
got
good point.
batch of shirts that we can't use because of the quarantine. We're talking about the PDQ week where we get together and we plan. We're not really doing that one now, but we have the shirts for them.
Oh, we're still doing it. It's just going to be over
I think
Zoom.
Mark's using those for rags now. Help disinfect the office.
I'm going to get one so it's, just so I can have a collector's item.
You want to hear something funny? I remember I went to, while you're doing that, I went up to with Adam to an old Microsoft conference, and we both went to, it was back when it was called Tech Ed, and we went to register, and the girl that was doing the registration for Adam was just looking down. She never looked up at him once. And she's like, name. He said, Adam Ruth, and yada yada. And she said, okay. And then, what is your shirt size? Because, they're going to give you a shirt. And he just said, software developer. And she, without missing a beat, said, XXX. Okay. So props to Adam and to the registration lady.
Yeah. So what we've learned from running this one is if it's not a laptop, that is an invalid class in WMI. That's what we got for all those ones. But looking for that one, if you do have laptops out there, but with the increase of remote, it's pretty safe bet.
So we could do it. Whoever does this could do an exception in there. If this just doesn't exist, then just return null or not a battery or something, so that it's. And they're looking for. So that was the battery one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's some good error handling in there to say, hey, if this doesn't exist, then don't die. Just say, no battery detected, or
Perhaps we should make a
laptop.
modification to this script in GitHub.
In GitHub? Yeah, so we'll add
those
that.
suggestions.
We can add the error handling into the script, and then if you already have it in your thing, just use the poll and grab it, and we'll update it for you, because when we do import it, we specify the file, not the script itself. So anytime it updates on GitHub, if you pull that down to your machine, your scanner will also update. All right, do we have any other questions? Or
Dear Jordan, how can we add PowerShell results fields, for example, last user logged on from your PowerShell Git repo, to the primary inventory overview screen? By the way, we love the shirt. Sincerely, Jeff P.
Oh, I'm glad they love this shirt. Thank you. I love this shirt too. I'm glad they let me make it. So I don't.
Wait till you see it off.
Yeah. So
Please wait. Please.
I don't even like seeing me with my shirt off.
That's why you want to wait till the end of the webcast.
Me with my shirt off is how I know that my wife loves me, because she's still here. So unfortunately for the main pane, we don't have the ability to add the results from the PowerShell scanners into that one yet. You can put it into reports, I believe, or it's on the computer window. But this main window here, unfortunately, I don't think that capability is there. I don't know if that is a active feature request that we have, but I will make an inquiry on that one once this one's over. All right. Any other questions?
Dear Jordan, Microsoft has released Windows 10.0-KB blah 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 to fix the printing issue on KB 45 nerd blah. Are you planning on releasing it? Robin S.
So at this point, I believe we do the security and cumulative, but not specific KBs. If that KB is in one of the cumulative updates, then it will be included in that one. But I don't know if we have any specific targeted ones that we release, except for something like we did for WannaCry.
Yeah, back when I was doing it, if it was like critically important and it would stand on its own, then we would put that out, as well as like corresponding collections calling it out. Like for example, WannaCry. But
Yeah, I think that was the last one we made an exception for the Windows.
But it doesn't mean, Robin, that you can't build it yourself. I mean, seriously, grab it. If you need a little cheat sheet, download one of our others to see how we do it. But throw it out there. You can get that out all. You can get that out all your computers if you want. You need it.
Absolutely. I'm sorry, what was that? Okay, one more example, because they've gone so smooth. All right.
I'm trying to let you redeem yourself.
Oh, you want me to?
He's just repeating it. It's not smooth. It's smoothly.
Smoothly.
Can someone throw some adverbs over Jordan's way?
No, I'm not going to better myself when it comes to the words. I don't words good. All right, let's take a look at system stability. And again, sorry, I wish I had those names in front of me. I just don't. I guess first thing we have to do is we have to open up and take a look at it before we run it, because people are real sticklers. All right, what did I say? System stability. Yeah.
At least something stable around here.
Boy, you came to the wrong place. All right, so this looks like this one's doing sim instance, and it's grabbing. Oh, there is actually a class name for reliability stability metrics. I did not know that. That makes it very straightforward. And then it's doing that, and it's measuring that for average, maximum, minimum, which is kind of nice. All right, and then see, selecting those, and
You
then
can tell we're winging it.
No, I'm reading it and learning as I go, and I'm just kind of discussing what's on the screen. This is very professional. All right, and then it creates that into a PS custom object, which is going to be the results. I actually hadn't seen that one before. I'm excited to run this one. This one's going to be awesome. All right, so I already imported it, he said, hopefully. Scan those ones with system stability. Did I do all computers or just...
I think you did Black Panther.
I did one computer?
Yep.
I'm just no good at this, guys. No good. I just want to thank you for maintaining my employment at this company despite what you have seen before you today.
Despite all evidence to the contrary.
All right, so Black Panther looks like we have the last date we did that one, and we got a bunch of 10s. That's not what I was looking for.
what number is it supposed to be?
Yeah, well, it's just minimum, but it does. I'm not sure what it's the.
Jordan is a
minimum of.
former Olympic athlete, and he's never seen so many tens.
No, yes. Well, they don't really give tens for curling. I believe a perfect frame is 7 points.
Actually, with curling, the highest award is a participation award.
No, I'm saying if you have all 7 of your stones within the circle, within this target, without any other stones there, that's 7 points. It's called the perfect frame. It's 7. You can't get a 10. So this is not relatable to me.
Still, a 7's a bridge too far for you. Hey, by the way, really quick, there's a question I want you to answer after this one. So
Okay.
wrap it up there, young man.
Look at that. I'm getting sympathy in the chat. Everyone knows that you're too mean. Too mean. All right, so yeah, it looks like I'm going to assume, without looking at what that class is, that 10's a good stability because we're super stable. I'm a stable genius. I don't know
Put
if
up another one.
All right.
Really quick.
All right, so this one looks like 10 is the high score, and this one has dropped down to an 8. So it is based out of 10. Look at that.
There
I was
you go.
right.
Is that because you're using Guinness?
Probably. Probably because actual stuff is happening on it. All right, so we had another question.
Well, Hellish Sherber is saying on the chat, well, at least one of the questions he had was, he's got a machine that's not connected to his domain that he needs to hit. Will you just show him credentials real quick?
Absolutely.
And how to handle, let's say, I'm not sure if it's on a different domain or if it's a standalone system, but just call out how you hit.
Yep. So if it is still,
Let's do it. So this is the web domain.
okay, web domain. So if it is on the network and you can still reach it with our system, we have the credentials, which was options credentials.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a default local admin that's on that machine, like we have Vincent here, you just put that credential there, and then you can come
Open
in.
it up so you can see. I want to see the edit. Notice the domain is blank.
Yeah, you can also do dot.
You can also
I
put a
believe.
dot in there,
Yep.
period. So that's for the local admin. That would be local admin. If it's on a different domain, but that domain is connected, in other words, you have access to it, you could connect to that domain and add those credentials for that domain.
Yep. And then once you have those credentials, if you can choose machine and you can set the default scan user.
Mm-hmm. And by default, when you use the AD sync and you specify different credentials depending on the domain, whatever credentials were used to pull that computer in from AD sync are automatically set as the scan user for that.
Okay.
Just so you know, that's just out the gate.
Yeah, out the gate. And then if you have deploy and inventory, you can use deploy to automatically use the credentials that inventory is scanning with. So if it's scanning successfully, you know your credentials are probably good that way. You can expand that one pretty good. Do we have any other questions? Or? All right, can we do? All right, thanks for tuning in. I apologize for all the road bumps. I honestly believed I was more prepared than I was. But hopefully you saw everything with the scanner. You know what's coming. There's a lot to be excited in there. This feature is, I think, just one of the best things we had in a long time. I love it. The new features make it even that much better.
No, you rocked. In fact, you showed that it's actually easy to address on the fly. I like that.
All right. I'm Jordan from PDQ.com.
Thanks for joining our webcast today. Congratulations, Alex N. and Robin S. Winners of PDQ swag. Send us your info at webcast@pdq.com. Thanks for joining us. Stay safe, and we'll see you back here next week.